My name is Kavari. My tag is BeastAssassin67. I'm from Tennessee, and I speedrun Super Mario 64 and Toy Story 2. My life has been pretty good growing up. My parents did a fantastic job. Shout outs to mom, my dad. I was kind of a spoiled kid. When it came to video games, my parents would always, get me whatever game I asked for. There's one memory I do have. I forgot which birthday it was, but I really wanted Super Smash Bros. Melee, and at the time Melee was really hard to get, and my dad, I believe, told me he was going on a business trip, but in actuality he's going to another state to pick up the game. And for my birthday he gave me a long speech about how spoiled I am and all that, and he handed me the game, and I broke down instantly. It was crazy. But yeah, that was probably my favorite memory. I love that question. So it's quite funny. It was a random day, probably in late 2013, early 2014. I was browsing on Twitch probably for the first time, and I found competitive Smash, like Melee, and I believe it was a Kings of Cali tournament. And I believe the host was VG Bootcamp. And I don't know if it was finals day or day one, but back then when you raided someone, you would have to spam their link in the chat with the raid message. And the person they raided was Siglimic. And I want to say he was practicing, but he was in Rainbow Ride, and I was just in complete awe. And my life changed on that day. I found competitive Smash. I love watching Melee. And I found speedrunning, which is what I do. So it's like my life changed on that day. And it's quite crazy how I found that in the same day. But yeah, I found Siglimic, and then I found Narcissa Wright, and Games Done Quick opened up everything. I became a big fan of like Sunshine and Luigi's Mansion and Mario 64, of course. Found SRL and all that stuff, and it's pretty much how I got into all that stuff. So I started noticing that when I came back in 2021 consistently, probably towards the end of it when I was grinding for 49 and 70 star. I was like, I could probably do something with this, because prior to that I became really good at Toy Story 2, and I was like, if I can get good at Toy Story 2, I can get good at Mario. So I was like, why not? So like around October-ish, after I had a break with, had like a little stint with Toy Story 2 again, I came back to Mario with a fresh brew sticks, and I got a 49. And then after that, like, it's kind of weird, because I did a timed goal. Like at the beginning of 2021, I set out a goal to get 49 before the end of the year. Don't do time goals, by the way. Time goals are awful. But when I achieved that, I was like, I can do anything. So around that time, October-ish, is when I really started noticing that. Keeps you coming back? Oh, you can never escape Mario. So like, I tried to escape, it always creeps back in. But it's just like, I guess the appeal of just speedrunning Mario is like the main reason, I guess. Just like the amount of stuff you can do in it, just the crazy movement you can do, the strats you could do, all that stuff. All that, yeah. I have struggled with burnout like last November after my 142.10. I think dealing with burnout, kind of just have to play Toy Story 2 or something, or like another game, just to take my mind off of it and like come in fresh. But recently, I've dealt with a little burnout before pace, but my mentality, I think, has been a lot stronger since I came back, since the Toy Story 2 break. I think the inner game of tennis helped a lot with that. I know it's like a big book that a lot of Mario runners read, but I think it truly helped. Just like, because what I think I stopped doing is what prevented burnout, I guess, is the negative talk with like the ego and all that. I just stopped being negative to myself, because that's what I was doing before I took a break. So I think just stopping the negative talk and blaming the game when I make a bad mistake or any of that. Saying like the game is good and fair and all that. I think that helped me a lot, just improving myself mentally and keeping me from being truly burnt out. I think punch canceling is a very interesting thing. I didn't start punch canceling until I started watching Parsi. Parsi was like the first runner I noticed doing like punch cancels, and punch cancel is like when you punch cancel, you get like full momentum. So I feel like there's a lot of spots in the runs that could utilize that, and I just feel like yeah, punch cancels is pretty cool. Hardest strat I ever had to learn, probably Tsukishima. Tsukishima, I spent like 5 hours, 6 hours on it maybe, and just could not get the button press. It was like every now and then, but like the button press is what really got me. And then like after I got good at the button press, it was the box rollout, and then after the box rollout, it was the speed kick, triple jump, wall kick onto the platforms and stuff. That's the hardest stuff ever. And I just don't understand how these other players do it. I don't think I'll ever do it. Probably, maybe, I don't know. But I think Tsukishima is by far the hardest strat that I think I've tried to learn, I guess. What happens often is I always think ahead for some reason, because like sometimes these paces I get come out of nowhere, and I tend to think like, oh, this could be it. This could be, you know, the 139, mid 139 or something. That's usually what's going on in my head, but usually I try to get those thoughts out, because like if I start thinking about what's ahead instead of what's present, then I'm just gonna mess up. But that's pretty much what I think about sometimes, like often. But I tend to stop myself. I tend to overthink certain strats, especially when I get to upstairs. There's certain strats that, like triple jump, wall kick, and what dry rolled, I overthink a lot. Snowman's head, I overthink a lot. TTC red stopped. Like that star stop like is unbelievably hard for some reason. I overthink it so much. Just overthinking and thinking too far ahead is like what usually happens during the pace. So listen to music. Yeah, I bump my Japanese playlist, and I try to like take my mind off the game for a bit, and if I can't, then I mean nerves are gonna happen. We're human, but music is usually the way to go for me. The stream can't hear it, of course, but I can hear it. I'm like blasting it, so yeah, music for sure calms me down. Well, I think the speed run for Toy Story 2 is very satisfying. That's how I got into it. Is like I watched, I believe it was a 100% speed run from XYX. It was a 55:33, and I was like, dude, this speed run is so satisfying. So let me try it. It's like instant, like satisfaction, just grabbing everything, like all tokens, all collectibles, all power-ups. It's just a very satisfying speed run. But my time with it, I mean, I got really good really fast. I started in like early December of 2019, and I ended up getting a world record not even a month in of playing the game. No way. Oh my god. I just that's actual world record. I just got the world record. So like my time with it was very crazy, because I started and I just went up. It was unbelievable. But yeah, I'd say my time with it was absolutely enjoyable. Although there were moments where I like hated the game, so there is some stupid stuff in that game, but I still love it regardless. I actually plan on playing it on stage, hopefully, maybe. But just a shout out to the Toy Story 2 community. But yeah, I'd say my time was pretty enjoyable. The movement is actually very, very interesting. you can probably argue with me about it, but like I compare Mario and Toy Story 2 a lot. Like it feels the same in terms of movement, even though there's not movement tech to make Buzz go faster. It's just like pure movement, precise jumps, all that stuff. So I like to compare the two. So like just the movement in general is pretty good. It's pretty good. For Toy Story 2, I just do like stage RTAs pretty much. Just go through the stage fully. Same thing with Mario. Actually, I didn't start doing stage RTAs and segment RTAs until like I had like a 143, like a low 143 I got. Like I remember choking a 141 or 142 pace to Tippy, and I like spent the next week grinding stage RTAs and segment RTAs and upstairs. But yeah, usually stage RTAs, segment RTAs is usually how I practice. But I was, well, the first qualifiers I mentioned before, it was last minute, and I just came back to the game and only practiced like 2-3 days beforehand probably. And the fact that I PB'd during those qualifiers the first time, it was just like, how? It like really opened my mind, because like I simplify the game sometimes. It's like, okay, if you can get this segment time or these segment times and stuff, it's like you can get a good time. But yeah, I did, like I said, it was just complete shock. I didn't expect it at all, which is kind of makes sense, I guess, because you shouldn't really expect anything when you grind attempts or something. But yeah, it was just complete shock. But I guess the way I've been improving at the game kind of makes sense. But I don't really play any games outside of speedrunning. But if I were to name a few, I'd probably say like Stardew Valley's up there. I love me some Stardew Valley. I like playing like old like Wii games or old like 64 games sometimes. Like I recently played the Luigi's Mansion, just like random stuff like that. I'm just like a big fan of like single player games in general. So if I, see a single player game that I like Spider-Man or something on PC, I'll usually play that out of speedrunning. But yeah, I actually had a talk with my friend about this. I think it might be Luigi's Mansion. I say that, but like there's 3 games that are on my list. It's Luigi's Mansion, Sunshine, and Paper Mario 64. I think Luigi's Mansion though might be my next speed game. Yeah, I have 3 sisters. I am the third. I have 2 older sisters and 1 younger. I actually didn't tell my family about speedrunning until I got really good at Toy Story 2. So they were like really supportive off the bat, because they see that I'm really passionate about this. So they just support me no matter what. I'm very grateful to have supportive parents and a family. My dad's here, and my youngest sister is here. So my mom wanted to come too. Like my whole family wanted to come, but my mom unfortunately couldn't make it. But my dad and my sister are here, so I'm just truly grateful. I'm very big into like Japanese rock, alternative rock, Japanese. I can't name any bands off top, but one recently I've been listening to is Bearware. I listen to like rap, hip hop. There's one artist named Jaleel that I've been listening to a lot. He's pretty good. He's a crazy dude. You've seen some of his videos, dude's doing backflips off like these tall like things at concerts. He's like, dude's absolutely nuts. But like Playboy Cardi, Pierre Bourne, Lil Uzi Vert, pretty much. It just sounds good. Like really with any music for me, like if it sounds good, I'll listen to it. But like with Japanese music, I don't know if I'll come off as a weeb, but like I just really like it. I just like listening to it. I have like a playlist of like 400 songs in it, and like if I can play music on stage, maybe I'll be definitely blasting that. But yeah, it's just nice to listen to. Yes, absolutely. It's gotten to the point where like if I'm not listening to music, I'm just not engaged with Mario at all. It's kind of weird. Same with runs. Like if I'm not playing music, I'm just not interested. It's very, very odd. It's kind of a thing now for me. It's just listening to music during practice and runs. Yes, it's Shikamaru. He's the GOAT, man. I love me some Shikamaru. He's a 10,000 IQ character. Probably one is definitely my favorite character from Naruto. He's absolutely cold. Nothing more to say other than he's the GOAT. So, I don't watch much anime anymore like I used to. But I'd say I'm a big fan. Naruto is obviously a big favorite of mine. Attack on Titan. Oh my god, I love me some Attack on Titan. Also like My Hero. My Hero is pretty good. I have to put Dragon Ball Z up there because that was my first anime I ever watched. Which it's a normie thing, but like it's Dragon Ball Z, so I have to put it up there as like one of my favorites. I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so I think that's a good anime. I think that's it though. I think the Underdog story in Naruto, so many tearjerkers, just watching that man just go through so much pain and stuff, and seeing him finally, like, at the end of the pain arc, seeing that man be tossed up by everyone in the village who previously hated him because of the Nine Tails that was put into him that destroyed the village prior, it just, like, it's just beautiful. Like, it's just a hated kid became the most beloved hero. It's just like it's pretty good. Wow, I'm the biggest surprise. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah, I didn't think it was possible at all to get in, but something just like happens. My emotions, I was very like, when I heard that I was confirmed to be at Pace, I like almost started crying, cause like I said before, it was a last minute decision to do this, and the fact that I got in, it was like I almost started crying. But yeah, it's just at first I didn't think it was possible, but now I'm here. So I've been hearing that a lot. See if I can get my first 139. I don't know if I could do it, but I will sure as hell try, because I feel like I've improved to the point where I can actually do it. But I've been super nervous about this whole thing, and I've been in my head about it. I feel like a lot of, I don't mean this in like a negative way, but like I feel like a lot of expectations have been put on me in terms of like, oh, he could get a 139 at Pace. I can do it, but like those expectations like are getting into my head. But like I said, I will try my hardest to pull something out. But it would mean a lot, because like I said, my family's here, and if I could do that in front of them, in front of my online friends, I'm meeting for the first time in 8 years. It means so much to me. I'd probably like, I don't know if I'd cry, but like it'd be very emotional for me. But it'd mean the world to me if I did achieve a 139 here. I think the condition of the community is pretty good. Like I mentioned before, it's very tight knit. Everyone knows each other. I feel like more and more people are joining. It's always a good thing. Although I'm not as active in the Mario community as others, I still lurk. But I think the condition is pretty good right now. So for Mario, I think plans and all that, I would like to get like a low 138 or something. I mean, I plan on becoming like a top player. That's always been a goal of mine. Even though people probably would consider me a top player now, I personally don't see that. But I plan on, putting in the work and all that to actually become one of the best. Not the best, but one of the best in the game. In terms of life, though, I would like to do this full time. I think this is a really good opportunity to grow myself and my channel to work towards that full time. But yeah, that's what I'm aiming for right now in terms of life, is just making this a full-time thing. Yeah.
Let's count our boys. That's one.
Be legendary. Please tell me I got it. Please. Oh my God! What? Are you serious? I fucking did it! Oh my God! Oh my God! I did it! I did it!